and we're open.
Okay, thank you folks. My name is Tom Pazurski from Merrill Corp. Located in Hanover and Plymouth. We have Brian McLaughlin here, who is the project applicant, property owner. So I do scale hands. Thank you. Take a peek at. I think we've got a unique but nice and beneficial program for your review. Folks probably remember we had this existing billboard project here, and the billboard was placed here. There's an old gravel drive that goes down to here, and then there was an old pathway that goes down here. The Blueberry Farm is located here and then through here. There used to be a trail road that comes around through the back here. What we would like the board, present the board for consideration is where the billboard is now. It's not very visible. A lot of people don't realize the billboard has a couple very important purposes, obviously for advertising. That's a no-brainer. But secondly, is one of the benefits the town has is public safety. They're allowed to use it to get time for public safety, public notices, Amber Alerts, emergency services, etc. And set back as far as it is difficult to see. So we went down, we took a look at it, and by we, I mean the client, John, the wetland scientist. The area that we want to move the billboard into is all invasive species. It's almost herbaceous species. It's overgrown the agricultural use down there. It's overgrown the farm road, which comes around the back. It's not a very, it's sort of a choked out wetland, basically, is what it is. We'd like to propose is some temporary alteration here to move the billboard into here, extend the gravel drive down. Obviously, the first thing that we would do is put in erosion control measures. We have double erosion control measures proposed here with a dirt bag, so if they have to do any dewatering down here, they can do it here. They'll keep an adequate supply. The dirt bags are easily taken up, taken away, and a new one put down. To get in there, we're proposing just to use a brush mower. I don't think there's a single tree we're going to touch. The brush mower will cut it down about 2 inches down. We'll clear the area. We'll use matting. We'll come in, set the concrete, and then they can construct the billboard. The other thing we'd like to do is for maintenance purposes, and you've seen this in a lot of the coastal areas, I think it's ideally suited here, is to put an elevated walkway in there with a plank so the sun can get through. So you can have somebody walk down. It'll be 4 feet wide with a little platform on the end in case they have to do any maintenance with a ladder. The good thing about this is the billboards also have cameras that shine down upon it, so they can see when it needs maintenance. They can see if it's working correctly or when it changes, what it's doing. So there's really not a lot of attention needed to this. Excuse me, when they're put in. We are proposing this area will naturally restore itself. We're not going to. I don't know if you've seen the brush mowing exercises, but they do leave the nice ground cover. But we are proposing a 4,000 square foot replication area here. This area here will alter 37, 38, 100 square feet. It's going to grow back. But we want to put indigenous species in here. One of the things that we talked about on the site inspection too is if you want us to do some invasive species mitigation, we could do that as an option. There's a lot of Phragmites down there. The other thing that we'd like to propose is public walking trail. We put in a gravel parking area here, gravel parking area here. It's about 60 feet wide. You could put about 12 cars down there, 6 on each end if you wanted to. This pretty much follows the existing trail network out here. So we clean out the existing trail network, touch up the blueberry bushes, put some benches along the walking trail, and we could create an easement to do that. And the public would have the benefit of being able to pick the blueberries when it's in growing season. And there was a mention at a previous meeting there might be some blueberries throughout the town. So if that is an option for conservation land, we would be more than willing to help you out with that particular option. I did check with the wetland scientist because there was a question on what kind of blueberries do we have here? Are they indigenous to the area here? Well, they're high bush blueberries. And the wetland scientist, I spoke to Brad Holmes today, he says, the high bush blueberries that they have all grow in the wild, in the northeast here. They might have a little bit of different varieties, like wine, different types of wine for grapes and things of that nature. He says, but basically what they do is when they find one that cultivates well, it grows all fine in the natural area. It's high bush blueberries are indigenous to the northeast. He said, I really can't consider that an invasive species. It's not like they take over an area. He says the good thing you have with these blueberries is they are big blueberry bushes, so they will grow well if you put them in the conservation areas. And you're going to have the benefit of not only people to walk the trails, but wildlife to use it as well. So folks, that's my story. That's my presentation. John's been out. We've gone over this with John, so if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
I got a question. So the billboard's there now.
It is.
Why wasn't this done or proposed in the beginning to put it out there?
It should have been done. And I think the problem that they did is they didn't realize the view angle that it was going to have being put back as far as it was. And things are just, quite honestly, overgrown so much over the past year. If you recall, there used to be an old billboard there. They chose the location of the old billboard. Unfortunately, it was an oversight when that old billboard was put in of how overgrown things have gotten in that area there.
Yeah, like Brian McLaughlin answered also is that we goofed up. I mean, it's not the best place, and it's been difficult to rent it, and yeah, it's a goof up.
Is the land still on the farmland?
Yeah, it's
Still
it's
on
all
the
part of
farm.
my land. Is
Is it
yeah, it's
still-
our land. Yeah, it's
is it-
the land. Yeah.
Is it farmland or is it 61A or B?
I don't know what the difference is. It's still farmland. Yeah, it's part of the. Oh, is it registered agricultural?
Yeah, it's
farmland?
registered.
Yes.
Is it
Yes, I believe
registered?
it is. Yeah,
Okay.
I believe it is. Yes.
So all of the Creebrook is yours?
The which place? I'm sorry.
At Creebrook Farm? Kyrie,
Yes,
Kyrie
yes.
Brook.
Yes.
Kerry Brook. Yeah, Kerry Brook.
Yes, so the trail goes through all of this land now?
Correct.
Yeah, and
So
Kerry Brook is all.
this parcel is someone else's down there?
That's correct.
There
Yeah.
was one little one in the middle. It's
Yeah.
lost.
Is this trail being used now at all?
No, it'd be developed as part of this project.
Was it
Okay.
ever used before?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's still
For
there.
that reason?
It was used.
As a walking trail or?
You
No,
walked, well,
It was actually, looked to me as if it was part of
The
their
blueberry.
blueberry
Yep.
picking.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was, yeah, it was part of the Blueberry Farm for picking.
No, is that something that you're looking to go, I'm not, this has really nothing to do with that, but the blueberries back into,
Well, what I would be proposing would be to, the blueberries, I'm not gonna grow blueberries and sell them and things like that.
Okay, all right.
It's a beautiful piece of land.
yeah.
Okay? We'd go and clean out what's grown and overgrown in the past 15 years and try and stipulate, here, these are the blueberries, and cut in between them, so that, I see it as a great area. People can go pick them,
Okay.
and have fun, and clean out in between them, so they can get around them and into it.
Are there a lot of bushes? A lot of?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, there were a lot, it was algaes, I believe, algaes,
Yeah,
blueberries,
I
way back.
remember.
And,
Yeah.
we didn't keep them down and cut, and, we weren't selling blueberries.
So it's just not, it's not another purpose to sell, make money off of,
Oh, not at all, no.
no, all right, I was just wondering, that's all.
But put a restriction, I'll give it to the town. It's nice land, it's
Oh, no,
really
there's no
pretty
problem.
back
I was
there.
just wondering.
There's actually some wild grapes, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We did
When we were
Yeah,
back
there
there,
are,
we
there's
found
wild grapes out there as
I
well.
was amazed.
So,
Green grapes,
Yeah.
and they're really just big bunches of them out in the back. Pretty amazing.
so a lot of effort. It can be turned into a nice little walking area, picking area. Not much effort at all for the brush hog to get in and clean this out, do hand pruning to prune everything back and take some of the other invasive species
So the
out.
basic purpose is to get it for more, better,
Mhm.
to better see it on 24.
At the end of the day, yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
gonna help us, it'll help make the.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
You know, I'm spending substantial dough to move it, but that's what I have to do. It's an error.
Yeah, yeah.
Any questions from anybody in the audience?
No, I'm
Just,
just.
okay.
Let's swing the-
Oh, okay, all right, just
Hey,
wanted to make
back
sure
on,
we...
backhand them.
John, comments?
Just for everybody's understanding, the report that I did for tonight's meeting is on the back of the agenda. And some of the highlights of the report is that They did try to utilize this existing spot and improve it by having some tree limbing operation go on, and they had actually obtained a permit from the Mass DOT to do some trimming along the Route 24 so that it would improve the visibility, and it didn't work. So this is something that they will go through a great deal of expense to have to take it down, move it closer, provided the commission approves it. And so it's not just a quick and easy thing to do. It's going to be something that's going to cost them some money to do. And in the process of viewing the site, as Tom mentioned, there were a lot of invasive species right where this is going to go. And so it's all Phragmites. They provide no benefit to the environment, to the wildlife or anything. And so it's not something that would be detrimental. It'd actually be an improvement by getting rid of those Phragmites. And then, of course, they're going that next step to add some replicated area for that part that they disturb. And since the Bay Circuit Trail follows up from Maple Street along Pleasant Street in here, I thought it was a great thing to be having a little bit of a spur to go off onto this land, get down adjacent to the resource area, have some benches, be able to pick some blueberries, and have some adequate parking as well, which they would do at both ends of the project. And another thing that I mentioned in my report is that the better value for revenue for the applicant means better taxes for the assessors. And so they're going to actually be able to improve the taxes on this by having a more lucrative advertising sign. And as Tom mentioned, the town does expect, as part of their agreement, to put in public service announcements, the Amber Alerts, the emergency information in case of storms and that kind of thing. So the public benefits from that. They benefit from the use of this land as part of the Bay Circuit Trail. It would be a lovely spot when it's done to have someone take and walk their dogs or their kids down through there picking some blueberries during the season. And so all of that plus other valuable considerations that have been discussed, I think the project's a good one, and that the benefit of it far outweighs any negative impact. And if it weren't full of invasive species, I might have some second thoughts, but because of that, I think it's going to improve it.
Anybody have any other questions?
No, I think it's a great example of, give and take and mitigation for, what you need to do over there, and benefits everyone all around. So.
I like it. It's going to benefit the community too.
Yeah.
One thing I did forget to mention, I'd like to put out if I could, Mr. Chairman,
Mhm.
is that I think it might be a good idea to have a perpetual condition in there. If this area, when we clean it out down through here, the weeds and stuff are going to grow back up.
Right.
Just to be able to allow us to go in there and be able to hand cut that back down, so it's not growing up through the walking, the elevated walkway. And that every 7 years, they might have to get down there to do some maintenance.
7 at the minimum, 10, 7 to 10 years.
7 to 10 years, we might have to come back in and just put some matting down to do some sign work and get out.
My understanding is they changed the face of the sign.
Just
7 to 10
weirs,
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would just go in, put the erosion control in, use the matting to come out, change the face of the sign, leave and get out.
So we could put a special condition for maintenance.
Yeah. How far are you gonna move it out?
A couple 100 feet,
Couple 100 feet?
and half of that's buffer zone.
You know, we appreciate any consideration, and at the same time, like, you know, like, it's not necessarily a quid pro quo, but I'd be willing to sponsor a scholarship for some young kid that's going to, from Bridgewater, West Bridgewater High School, to a major in environmental studies, et cetera. And, you know, we would be willing to sponsor that on an annual basis of $5,000. If in 1 year it's not used, you can, I think the board is, I'm more than happy to let you guys,
It's a
you know,
generous offer.
do that. And if
Yeah,
you decide that, hey, there's only one kid, we're gonna give him two, and keep the rest in there and build something
sure.
in the
sure.
long term. You know, that's important to us both to do it, get the sign, and to be able to do that. And,
Of course.
You know, we'd be glad to offer that.
Wow,
Well,
that's generous.
thank you.
It's
That's-
wonderful.
yeah. I mean, this is, a lot of advanced thinking went into this, obviously, on your part. We don't see people creating trails coming in
No.
like this on projects that often. It's a good idea, and
Yeah.
it really adds to the area down there.
I have a question.
Yes.
What name would you like for the trail?
What would you like?
Do you have a favorite thing? Something,
Yeah, Brook Trail.
I think if there's something that works within the town that's part of the whole project, I don't have a name, but,
how
you know, we would
far?
put a nice wooden sign there. I kind of envision, we come from Easton, and we have, you know, the wooden
Yes, I
signs for
know.
the conservation, and,
Mhm.
you know, I can see that as a, you know, the name. And
Yeah.
The blueberry tree.
there's about, between the two of them, there's about 8 acres of land. There's 4 acres, I think, from the parcel on
Yeah.
the left, approximately, and 4 on the
Where's that
right.
from Molly Ground? We don't really know,
So-
do we?
It's quite a bit.
You know, I prefer to name it after a veteran.
Here we go.
I mean, I'm big with, you know, guys.
We'll have to,
Talk about
We
it.
can work on that, but yeah, I mean, we'll,
I mean,
Yep.
you can,
That's a good
Sergeant
suggestion.
Jen could have a separate end. You know what I mean? The one
Yeah.
could be, the one name.
we'll have to see what would be
Yeah.
something that would pull it together with everything else.
All right.
Great idea.
not hearing any other questions, I will entertain a motion to issue an amended order of condition.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
So moved. And I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
Moved, seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Okay, thank you, folks.
Done. Thank you.
Also
Oh.
want to, I probably didn't put it on there, but grant a waiver on the 50-foot.
Oh,
Yep.
Work that was going to be done in it.
I'll entertain a motion to allow a waiver of the 50-foot.
Second.
Seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
All righty.
When are you
Great.
starting? Tomorrow?
No. That's Tom. He's got a flag it. No, it'll be good.
Probably soon, huh?
Yeah, soon.
Especially with the dry weather.
If I could say one more thing, just for the record.
Yep.
That recommendation for granting a waiver on the 50-foot was for the mitigation that they're offering, because
Yes.
that would be very important, so that
Yep.
somebody doesn't say, well, you did it for him and not for someone else. So I just want the record to indicate that that's what it's recommended.
And when might we expect the amended order?
I could have it done possibly on Thursday.
Okay, awesome. Okay,
All right.
thank you, folks.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming in.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How far away is that site from Molly Ground? I have to see the relationship.
Probably less than a quarter of a mile.
The walk,
Yeah, like that.
not huge, but, yeah. Nice little stroll.
Yeah, amazing.
Anything to sign, Kitty?
I have one
Since we have a very short agent's report.
awesome thing to sign.
Well, we're signing. Anything else?
Nothing for me.
Kitty? This is gonna be one of a record, I think, right here.
I might mention if you would like that Dylan thought he would be here tonight, but he's also finished with his studies, and they are moving to Lebanon, New Hampshire. So he's in the process of job searching in that direction, which is most likely why he isn't here. Because he wanted to, hug and say goodbye and all that.
What's drawing him up there?
His fiance got a job of her dreams in Lebanon, so. that's
Nice
what-
area, I mean, I like it up there.
He's very, very appreciative for having had this as a base from which to meet people and understand more of what he's been studying.
Good.
I didn't send you all his emails, but he's very, very appreciative on it.
Good.
And then Joan Pierce from Fish and Game, and another couple of references were given to him so that he has those to start with in that area. And so maybe that's why he's not here.
All right. If we have nothing else, I'll entertain a motion.
Nobody else will come in, huh? Nothing up on Collins Street or anything like that?
What?
Nothing new,
No?
nothing's, they picked up their ORAD, so
Oh, okay.
they were interested in that, but I think that because of the location being in the endangered species area, that they have to talk with Natural Heritage to be able to whatever they're planning to do, they have to keep in mind that Natural Heritage would want them to do some extra things.
That's the same with Lincoln Street there too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's why we haven't heard anything from them.
Right.
Sounds good.
Nothing else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Moved. All those in favor?
All right.
We're done.